Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto, and let's dig into the topics that I briefly covered in today's Crypto Minute. Now, there's a new exchange and it's backed by, who isn't it backed by? You've got Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Citadel, who else was there? There was Paradigm, Sequoia Capital, and a whole bunch of other companies that all invested in this, centralized exchange. Now, take that in and you sit back and you figure, okay, they all got in on this centralized exchange. What does that mean? This exchange is coming out supporting Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and of course, Ethereum. Just those four. Why only those four? It should be obvious. They're not even close to being called a security. So all of the big players and the financial institutions out there decide, not all, but these are some heavy hitters. They decide they're going to back a brand new crypto exchange. It's a new sheriff in town. And they want to make sure that this global exchange gets off on the right foot. So they're only working with the cryptos that they believe are untouchable at the moment. And I'm pretty sure they are. Because, you wonder about Litecoin. Litecoin's not going anywhere. Bitcoin Cash, I don't have any, not going anywhere. But Ethereum and Bitcoin makes sense, right? That those four actually do make sense. I think it'll be a minute before they get involved with anything else. Anything. Not against that either, but it does say a lot. Now, when I look at this, I sit back and I go, So it was just a little while ago that all these traditional companies were like, crypto? What's wrong with you? Crypto. And now look at them. They're not just doing internal moves to, work within the crypto space, leverage blockchain, leverage cryptos, all that good stuff. They're actively looking to be a part of its infrastructure. And you figure you're missing a name, you're missing at least one prominent name in that list, right? And that would be BlackRock. Well, why would BlackRock be missing? That's because they're already in bed with Coinbase. Duh. Fidelity has a platform, but in terms of a global centralized exchange, makes sense. So I'm expecting more. So I'm looking at all of these different moves that are bolstering the idea of crypto's not freaking going anywhere. It's going to grow. And I'm seeing more bets placed on crypto than I do for CBDCs. Do you notice the split? Governments are going for CBDCs and companies, traditional finance is going for crypto. That divergence right there says a lot. Want another example? Deutsche Bank is filing for their digital asset license in Germany. The IMF is looking to build a global CBDC platform. Let that wash over you for a minute. A global CBDC platform versus traditional finance getting deeper and deeper and deeper into bed with all things crypto. Just saying it's huge. Something else that's positive for crypto. So Joseph Tsai doesn't roll off the tongue easily for me. Sorry, I apologize. Joseph Tsai is about to take over as chairman and CEO of Alibaba. Now, he's very crypto savvy. And they're starting to make noise about, hey, we're going to have a crypto project that's going to come out and it'll be under his helm. Alibaba doing crypto. Who's their number one competitor on a global level? You could easily say it's Amazon, right? So how long is it going to be before Amazon's made a couple of moves in crypto, but not really big moves. Pretty sure that's going to change. When is the question? Not if, when. Then you have the Third Circuit Court This is what I find to be interesting. The Third Circuit Court says they're retaining jurisdiction over the Coinbase versus the SEC case. And that particular case is the one where Coinbase is seeking clarity on crypto regulation. They're literally asking the SEC to lay it all out there. And the Third Circuit Court is saying, we are going to retain jurisdiction over this case. That tells me the case ain't going away. The SEC is going to have to get up and they're going to have to come out with some kind of regulation on what it is that they believe makes a security as far as digital assets are concerned. Yeah, that... Do I really think they're going to do something? I think they're going to be forced to say something. They will be forced, and it will be public. So everything that they say, everything that they do will be publicly vetted. They're going to have a hard time because there's a lack of consistency and a lot of stonewalling. Period. End of report. Okay, not the end of the report. But you see what I mean? There's going to be a lot of stonewalling about this or over this by the SEC. And I think the Third Circuit Court is going to say, nah, we're not having this stonewalling thing. Do your job. I think that's what's coming for the SEC. I think they're going to be told to do their job and they're going to have to come out with something. And it's going to be an incredible uphill battle for them. I mean, think about this. They're saying Polygon is a security. What? Okay. All right. Let's run with that. They're attacking stable coins. They're gearing up to go after DeFi. They're gearing up. They're girding up for a big time war against crypto. And I think they're wasting our time. That's just me. But when I look at the price of crypto and I look at everybody, well, the players and what they're doing, I sit back and I go, that's a big deal. Now, if you listen to what I was saying yesterday and you saw that Fidelity was, Fidelity might, it's still a might, be making a play for Grayscale. Well, Grayscale shot up just because BlackRock, put in their application for a spot ETF, right? A spot Bitcoin ETF. Imagine if everything is true. Fidelity is going to go after Grayscale. They buy Grayscale because DCG needs the money. And you sit there and you're kind of like, wow, wait a minute. These are all really big moves. And cryptos had taken a major dip just before these really big moves. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't believe in most of that stuff. But the opportunity arose and the timing was perfect. Right? So even if there is nothing going on, the opportunity arose where the market took enough of a little dip so that plans could be made and companies are getting in. They got in and now crypto has risen. Which brings me. We should probably go over the numbers. So let's do that. Maybe today I'll be smart enough to remember to switch my camera over. Ha 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 ha. So let's see. Let me refresh this screen because I haven't refreshed it in about 10 minutes. And there are some big movers on here. On the downside, yeah, pretty much nothing is down, right? Just saying. But on the plus side, I want you to pay attention. Flow was making noise early last year, late last year, early this year. And here it is up 21%. Optimism up 18%. Stacks up 17%. And they've just been up. So we're talking about moves to the upside, right? And I want you to look at some of these coins that are not Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up a bit, but these are up more. Bitcoin's on the list, but it's further down. Optimism up 18%. Stacks, like I said, 17%. Who else am I paying attention to? Render up 14%. Pepe, who had lost steam, up 14%. still in the top 100 of coins. Injective, another coin I'm paying attention to, up 13%. Harmony is up 12%. Who else am I paying attention to? Phantom up 11%. So these are things that I'm actually paying attention to. And if you look at the big board right here, yes, I got it to actually show up. Bitcoin is up above that mark that I was telling you about, that 2828 mark. I told you 2828 is a very big number for me. That line right there, that's a big deal. This upward momentum, we're in deep green for Bitcoin, and it's up at 28,893. All right. Ethereum back above that 1800 mark that I told you about. I really want it above 1900, 2000, but it'll be a little bit before we get there. But right now it's above 1800 and we just need to sustain that. All right. XRP is only up a little bit at 49 cents. Again, to me, it's a buying opportunity. I think there's a lot going on with Ripple, and I think at some point it's going to explode. Cardano is up a lot, and it's only 27 cents. Cardano is a huge buy, I think. I think it's a huge, huge buy. Even though it's been up, it's up right now. It's not near, none of these coins are near their relative highs from this period. So that's what I'm paying attention to. All right. HBAR is up, but HBAR has been making moves. Don't sleep on HBAR. A while ago, HBAR wasn't doing anything. Everybody was sleeping on it. My friend Nicholas Ducran got on me and he was like, yo, dude, you need to get in on this. You need to get in on this. And I did. And I was upset. I was mad because as soon as I got in, it plummeted. And then all of a sudden, I'm just watching it do things. I'm watching that project do things. I'm like, wow. So that could be big. Right now, let me answer a question from Mona. Mona had asked me, how do I feel about BlackRock filing for their spot Bitcoin ETF? From a very large scale, it just continues to say that, traditional finance, large institutions are in crypto and they're here to stay, control, power, all that good stuff. So in the long run, I'm not a huge fan. I like the people having access to the money, but in the short term, I do like the idea of the positive news hitting the space, right? People still own crypto. Yes, all the big players are getting in, but people still own crypto, and I think that's going to be the way to go. So that's what I'm paying attention to. So Mona, I hope I answered your question. If you have questions, just ask. Maybe I have an answer. I don't know. And here's what I was talking about. Do you see this? So we're well within my green band, and my green band, where we were moving laterally is from 26,475 to 31,580. That's my green band, right? That's the band that we were. Previous to my green band, I had a blue band that was way, 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 way lower. So I'm happy that we're not anywhere near that level. But again, I told you, that one of the levels I had been paying attention to was 25,211. Well, we bounced back from that. It went a little bit lower. If you look at where I am right now, that low was 24,801. And I should move the line but just to keep it in, where we were. I wanted to have that line of demarcation. We hit below that 25,211, bounced for a little bit, and then we popped back up above it. And that's the only reason why I haven't created a new line for 24,801, right? But you can see how we're above that 28 mark where I said we have to be within that space. Even if we move laterally for a little while, that's the space that we have to get to if we're going to move beyond the 31,580 and boost up. That's what I'm paying attention to right now. All right. When you look at DeFi Llama, yesterday we were at 53.88 in terms of total value locked, and now we're seeing 55.8. That's a big move. That's $2 billion on the positive. That's big, and I think it's going to grow from here. Yes, you'll see people get in, get out, but when you're looking at total value locked and you're looking at what could happen, if the developers of Ethereum decide that they are going to bump up the validators from 32 to 2048, that's going to be big. That you'll see TVL just skyrocket from there. The fear and greed index, 59. We're well into the greed section. Well into greed. People have don't really have any fear. And I want you to think about that. The less fear people have, the more curious they are about crypto, the more crypto can grow. The more crypto grows, the more adoption happens, and the cycle just keeps going on. It's only a little while before mainstream hits. This is why my hosting company, if you have an e-commerce platform, this is why Rebel Reach was born. We can do authorized.net, PayPal, and crypto. Right now, our platform accepts, I think, 6 different cryptos, and we can add more. Flick of the switch. This is why we built out that platform. We want to be there as adoption continues to grow. That ought to tell you something. That really ought to tell you something. And just remember yesterday I told you that Ethereum was no longer deflationary. It had hit inflation. Now it's back to being deflationary. That means that there's more Ethereum being burned than there is being created. That's the difference. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. I hope my information helps you. I hope it guides you to doing your own research so you can become more educated. If you have any questions, please let me know if I'm doing a good job, if I'm doing a bad job. I really do want to hear from you. I really enjoy the conversations. I've been blessed to have a lot of conversations with a lot of people as I'm doing these videos, and it's really cool to share that with my kids. Anyway, hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.